Well, good morning. This morning, I'm delighted to be joined by Richard Protherough, who is the founder of Vivotalent. And today we'll be looking at the impact of the big investment that's going on in digital on recruitment, and in particular on the recruitment of digital skills. So we'll be talking about the areas that are hot and what companies can do to attract and engage the best tech talent. Now, Richard founded Vivotalent very recently, having had a very long and successful career at Spring IT. And Vivotalent helps scaling businesses, as I say, attract and engage the best tech talent. And I'm Graham Kennedy, as you probably know. I'm the founding director of Alexoria, and we help software, technology and professional services businesses address their key organizational and business development challenges. One of those challenges at the moment that is repeating quite a lot is recruiting the best tech talent. So it's great to have Richard here so that you can learn from Richard about what you can do, as I say, to attract and engage the best tech talent. So Richard, first of all, I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add about Vivotalent just before we get into the meat of the conversation.
No, I think you've summed it up really. We help ambitious companies scale their tech teams across the UK and Europe. So we help them and advise them on the best strategies to put in place to help in growing areas.
Okay, fantastic. So perhaps you could just give us a perspective on what's going on in the market at the moment, what's driving tech talent, what's driving the demand for tech talent and transformation skills, as I know those are particularly hot, and provide a perspective on the skills that are in the highest demand.
Yeah, so I think what's driving it is the digital transformation of organizations, whether it's the traditional businesses that have had IT or technology as a periphery that just help keep the lights on, to changing that to actually the technology being at the heart of their business and becoming more tech-minded and tech businesses, and whether that's in automotive, manufacturing, buildings merchants, or even financial services, looking at how the businesses are changing from their normal standard product range to using technology as basically at the heart of their businesses. And so on one side you've got those changes happening, and then on the other side you have the challenger organizations coming up who are tech native businesses that are there to help kind of challenge the major players, really.
Okay, and how big an impact do you think these challenger businesses are having on the traditional players? Are they, would you say that they're driving the investment in tech talent so that the traditional businesses can stay competitive, or do you see something else going on?
Yeah, I think what's happening is with the challenge with larger organisations is their architecture hasn't been set up in the way that if you're starting a business today, how you would have your technology stack. And so they're looking to transform their older systems and to bring them up to date, where with most of the challenger organisations, they're built technology first. So they've got those right, so their speed and their efficiencies and processes are more set up towards the technology that they've got than organisations that have processes and procedures, and they're trying to fit the technology into the processes that they've already got in place.
So it sounds like the smaller organisations can see an opportunity in the market and can see how to capitalise on it using technology, or digital technology in particular. And that's, if I might say, getting the wind up the larger organisations, because they realise that if they don't adapt and embrace digital, then the smaller startups will eat their lunch to a certain extent.
Yeah, 100%. You can see it in the automotive industry with Tesla in terms of their market share and their size now compared to nearest 6 automotive businesses, and Tesla are obviously a software business that actually make cars rather than a car manufacturer looking at how technology can help their business. So it's really interesting how it's flipped it on its head, and what that means for the technology markets moving forward, and also the demand for the top talent.
Okay. And I also see, I mean, there's clearly lots of people working from home. That must have a driver on tech. And also, you know, if we look at retail and how the people who provide products to restaurants, let's say, for example, have had difficulties. I'm assuming that those sorts of organizations are investing in digital channels to reach their customers directly. I mean, that's the sort of thing that I see going on. I don't know if you see similar sorts of things happening.
Yeah, I think because of COVID, what we've found is obviously a lot of the retail businesses are purely online and really pushed their online play, because none of their shops can be open. And it's probably moved forward, a move which was happening over the it's going to happen over the next 5-10 years. With COVID happening overnight, it's meant that businesses have had to readdress their operating model straight away. And so a lot of investment has gone in, and a lot of head scratching has gone on in terms of, okay, how can we compete in this market, and how can we look and say, like you say, from a retail point of view, Amazons of this world, and how can our business fit into the new reality of the world. And I think actually they'll come out a lot leaner and better equipped for it, actually, over the next 2-3 years. The ones that survive.
Two things going through my head. One is change or die. And the second is that there was McKinsey who published a report recently which showed a huge shift in how digital channels are being used, or much more extensive use of digital channels in the should we say marketing and sales process. So to flip it on its head, buyers are using digital much more, it seems to me, in all sectors to acquire products or services. And I'm kind of guessing that must be, well, it's logical to the logical follow through is that that's driving the demand for tech talent. It must do. As businesses recognize what's happening. Okay, so what sorts of skills are in the highest demand, would you say, at the moment?
I think it follows on from what you're saying there. So software development, so building new apps and new websites and new applications, I think. And then data's the new oil, that's what they say. And actually a lot of these businesses now are producing a huge amount more data than they ever have because of the digitalization. And so data engineers and data scientists, and then probably following on from that is obviously security and data and cyber security, and making sure that data is then protected. You see recently, I think even this week with Facebook, and a number of email addresses and data breaches there. So you can see how prevalent that is. Once you are starting to utilize and store and utilize data, it's actually then making sure that it's kept securely.
So there's a lot of talk about AI and big data, as you have mentioned. What sorts of, how do you see organizations using data, or what sorts of roles, what sorts of kind of business applications are these data engineers and data scientists trying to bring to life?
So some of it with the data scientists is solving complex problems. So utilizing the data, huge amounts of data from different sources to solve challenges for their customers, and others are simply using the data to get closer to customers and to know which are their most valued customers, and basically making sure that they're staying close to those individuals. So obviously the data can be used from such a wide variety of sources.
So I've heard that organisations are using. So what's going through my head is customer insight and trying to predict how customers are going to behave and what products and services they might buy as the context, almost the COVID context, changes. So if you can almost read the tea leaves effectively, then you can respond to changing demand in the market much more effectively, and that will help your top line at the end of the day, it seemed to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 100%. Look at seeing what data you have now and with the predictive powers of that over the next year, 2 years, in terms of where their customers and their customers' needs are going, and then actually building applications and products which support those.
Okay, very good. So we talked previously about what successful companies are doing to acquire the best talent, which is clearly in high demand because of the reasons that we've just outlined. What are your top tips for somebody that's looking to recruit these sought after digital skills, especially data engineers and data scientists?
Yeah, I think the big one, first of all, is in ensuring you've got a good employer value proposition. So people know when they come into your organisation that the hygiene factors, you've got a competitive salary, benefits, process in place, but actually your brand in the marketplace is well recognised and is out in the marketplace. So you're putting together a good EVP is important. Also, having a long resource plan, understanding that these candidates will have 3 or 4 job offers. So making sure that you've got an attractive proposition in place so that they'll choose yours over the other 2 or 3. And I think a lot of the engagement side is making sure that you can show what your business is like. And most companies' websites are built for their clients and their customers they're trying to attract, but they've just got to also be built for attracting their next employees as well, because any person looking to get their next role and they've got lots of opportunities, they will do their due diligence on the organisation, look at their website, and so you've got to showcase, put your best foot forward on your website as well. I think resource planning, so making sure that you can see what you'll need in the future, whether that's 6 months or 12 months time, and then putting in place, building up talent pools of talent that you'll need in those time frames, and start attracting them now, because I think if it comes to needing them next week or next month, it's a real challenge, and there's more chance of making a wrong hire than there is of making a right hire if you're rushed into a decision. Where if you've built up and nurtured these talent pools over a period of time, then one, they get to know your organisation better, but you get to know them better. And so when there is an opportunity comes up, actually it's a far quicker time to hire process.
Okay, so you talk about talent pools. Can you perhaps just paint a slightly richer picture of what one of those looks like and how an organisation can create a good kind of talent pool that it can draw on?
Yeah, so it can be as large or smaller candidate pool as possible, but it might be within a specific technology sector. Say it might be just purely .NET candidates, developers, full stack developers, for instance. And actually an organisation might need that over the next 3-6 months, they'll need 3-4 more of these candidates. And so what we help organisations do is build and engage with the best .NET developers in the region over a period of 6-12 months, introducing that brand to them. Even if there aren't any opportunities at the time, sharing insights into the organisation, sharing maybe videos from the hiring managers or what they do and what a .NET developer would do for that organisation. And so that where you get engagement is with people who are interested in doing that work within that organization. So then we help match those two together, and over that period of time you build up people who are really interested in going and working for that company.
Okay, so you've introduced the idea of working for that company way in advance of the actual need to recruit somebody, by the sound of things. So there's quite an awareness amongst the talent pool of the business in question and what the demands are likely to be, and the ethos of the business and the values and what they stand for and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, building up a holistic view of that organisation, and then what that does is helps. Well, it makes clients make better hires, so there's less chance later on down the line that candidate might not be suitable for them, or them not suitable for that candidate, because they've been out of date over a period of time, rather than being just rushed straight into one interview and then hired. And when you have to rush things, you can make mistakes. So it's probably like a long dating process.
Okay, very good. But I've also heard that it's quite important when a business does want to recruit somebody that they have a pretty slick process. You were giving some ideas on how quick businesses have to be now. What can you say about that?
Yeah. So I think the key points on that is, one, know exactly what you're looking for when you go out to recruit, and then actually make the recruitment process as short as possible. So if you do need 2 stages or 3-stage interviews, then make sure those can happen within a week to 2 weeks, because the longer time period you put between the first interview, second interview, third interview, actually the more chance those candidates have of going off the market. Because what we're finding is, since of lockdown, actually what's happened is time to hires has reduced from 5 weeks to 3 weeks, because the speed at which organizations are moving to secure the top talent. So if as an organization you end up spending too long mulling over whether they're the right person, you'll lose them. And so having a really slick process and know exactly why you're performing each interview, what are you trying to get out of that interview, is really important. So if you get that part right, and is in a shorter period as possible, then there's far more chance that you'll secure the person that you want to.
Okay, and just to be clear about time to hire, is that sort of contact to offer? Would that be a
contact to offer?
Initial contact to offer. Okay, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
down from
3 weeks.
6 weeks. Yeah,
5 weeks.
So you need to have a really slick process.
Yeah, you need to have a slick process, and actually it tells a lot about, say, for a developer or for any data scientist going into an organization. If it takes them so long to make a decision on a candidate, what's it going to be like working for that organization? How quickly can we get decisions made? And so so the longer and the more you procrastinate over each hire, the more it might put doubts in the candidate's mind. Actually, is this a company that can move quickly when we've got good ideas? Are we going to be agile enough to make decisions?
That's exactly the word that was going through my head, agility. So agility needs to be pervasive in the organization, by the sound of things, right through to the recruitment process, as well as responding to demands in the market, changing demands in the market. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what all the best talent wants. One of the overarching things is ability to make decisions and move quickly and work at an organization that's going to move with their ambition and their kind of like pace of work, really.
Okay, so it sounds like, just to sort of summarize what we've said, it sounds like that COVID has really opened people's eyes to, it's either opened people's eyes to digital, or it's actually pushed people to use digital more, because it's been embrace digital or die, change or die type of scenario, that's put pressure on the incumbents to embrace digital more, because if they don't, they'll have their lunch eaten. The key skills that are in demand is all around digital data transformation. So really increasing the productivity and effectiveness of the organization in question. Agility is key in all of this, both in terms of responding to customer demand and in terms of your recruitment process. So your recruitment process has got to be really quick, and you need to be really clear about what you're recruiting and why you're recruiting, as well as having a convincing and compelling value proposition to all the people that you're trying to recruit. Would you say that's a fair synopsis?
Yeah, I think that is. I'd add to that flexibility. So when you're looking for the perfect fit, sometimes there's a need to flex, and as a lot of what you want, technology is going to change, development languages are going to change, businesses are changing. So you need people who can learn new skills and develop those. And so sometimes if they haven't got a perfect fit for a role, but they're the person who can learn and build up that experience, then actually having the flexibility of knowing, okay, what are essential skills that they must have from day one, and ones which can be built up and is important. And then flexibility on where they work. Obviously, a lot now are the demand for home working and the ability to work from home. Or some people wish to go back into the office, and some people wish to be 100% remote. It's being able to give people the flexibility of choice, if you can, over where they work.
Okay, that's fantastic. So there's clearly been a big shift in the market, and companies are having to respond to that shift to, well, not only to respond to customer demand, but also to fulfill the roles that they or the vacancies that they have, especially if those vacancies are for people with digital skills. So what closing thoughts do you have? Maybe one piece of advice for organizations looking to recruit tech or transformation talent?
I think it's plan in advance is really important. Speak and understand exactly what you're going to be looking for, and speak to experts who do this. Even if you and most businesses now have their own talent acquisition team, understand what their expertise is, and you utilize them for those, and then obviously use partners for roles and areas that you don't have the experience in-house to cope with.
Okay. All right, fantastic. So and I'm sure you'd be delighted if viewers of this audience had a need that you could help fulfill. So how can they contact you?
They can contact me, obviously, vivotalent.com on our website, or via LinkedIn, or via my email address, which I'm sure will be posted in the links below. Okay.
And you're Richard Protherough at Vivotalent on LinkedIn. I'm sure that would find you.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. And my email address is rich@vivotalent.com.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm Graham Kennedy at Alexoria. That will find me on LinkedIn. And equally, Graham Kennedy at alexoria.co.uk. And I do have a white paper that I wrote recently called Shine a Light on Recruitment, Winning Factors for a Fruitful Campaign, which I will update to incorporate the points that we've just raised. But if anybody would like a copy of that, then please drop me a direct message, or drop me an email, or connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, that's been absolutely fantastic, Richard. Some really useful insights there. Really interesting to find out, or to hear from you at the sort of recruitment end, to have that perspective on what's going on in the market at the moment. And I hope we've given viewers of this video cast a few ideas on what they might do differently if they are looking to recruit people with digital or transformation skills. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.